Yeah, so this is a really interesting story, and that as we have a product to kind of launch and to talk about, there's a lot of kind of messages to kind of get out. One, obviously, we want people to read the book, and we want to promote the book that we're excited about, that we've had in the works, obviously, for a very long time. But it's we've learned a lot along the process and along the way, and I think it's important to kind of point out that, like, we never gave up on the project. Like, when a lot of people, I think, would have just never fulfilled, right? So I think it was really important for us, because we believed in it, and we were like, this is going to happen. Like, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So leading up to this, starting in 2009, we had started, we had graduated SCAD in 2004. Mm-hmm. And then after about a year or so, I was starting to get work in the comic industry. I was working for Devil's Due, and some of my very first work was for G.I. Joe. So I was working with them. And then I was just starting to get a little bit of comic book work. And me and Quinn stayed in touch, and I was doing initial character designs for Runestone. And as he was working out the script for it, and then Quinn started getting some writing work on Ninja Turtles and on
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda, yeah, for like DreamWorks properties with a comic publisher at the time. And so we were each kind of separately just kind of launching our careers. And then in 2009, we started a podcast together called the Darkhan City Times. And it was, Darkhan City is the environment or the setting that this story takes place in. So it's just kind of what kind of bonded us is we'd been working on this project together for a while. And so we just kind of named that. And it was really just like a review, pop culture review podcast, back when podcasts weren't quite so prolific and so much out there. But we just had fun with it, and we kind of started building up a bit of a following as we were doing it and keeping it consistent. And we ran it for almost 3 years.
Yeah, it was like over 100 episodes.
Yeah, so
it was with my brother Troy. Was the third host, and
yeah, so we just kind of did a weekly show, and then in 2012 we had enough content of Runestone ready to launch Kickstarter, but we weren't, I mean, to be honest, at the time, I think it's safe to say we were pretty naive to like how Kickstarter is done, and even Kickstarter at the time wasn't very old.
I was gonna say, at the time things are a little different too. Like we have the benefit now of seeing so many projects that have happened, and so you can generally kind of see, here are some basic rules that make it work, you know?
Yeah.
Right. So it is interesting to me to look back at that time period. I don't know if you guys know Jason Brubaker, had him on the stream a few times. It's kind of interesting to pick his brain, because he was doing crowdfunding campaigns a long time ago, relatively speaking, for comics. Yeah. So you built up enough content, you launched the project on Kickstarter.
Yep.
Right. Now we had set a goal for, I think, 9,000, and we had gotten 12,500 or so, and we didn't have. I mean, we had pages done, certainly, and we had enough for a pitch, and we were had printed up a mini kind of pitch book, that we had taken up to Chicago Comic-Con.
Yeah.